Hello and welcome back to Wolverine Alley-Oop. I'm Jess Sheridan and I'm joined by Jake and Ethan, who have prepared notes for today's debate. So let's get into it. Today's debate question is, who has been the most impressive player on the men's team so far this season? And we'll start with our reigning champion, Ethan.
Yes, thank you, Jess. It's been an impressive start to the season for a lot of the players on the team. One player in particular that I have been impressed by is someone who actually comes off the bench, a guy named David DeJulius. I think he's been having a great season. He's been playing in just over 23 minutes a game this year compared to just under 4 last year, shooting 57.1% from the field, 44% from 3, averaging almost 4 rebounds, assist and a half, and 8.1 points. He has been providing valuable minutes for the team with guard rotation of Brooks, DeJulius, and Xavier. He has showed that we can take Xavier off the floor and it doesn't all go to crap like it has been the last few years when we take our man off the floor. He's had big games versus UNC and Iowa State in the battle for Atlantis, and he has an offensive rating of 116.3, which is second on the team behind Isaiah Livers, and a defensive rating of 93.4, which is higher than Xavier Simpson. I've been very impressed with DeJulius this year.
Good stuff there, Ethan. First of all, I just want to thank you for coming back on. You know, after I was inexplicably given the loss last time we debated, I thought that you were gone for good with your, one and done type mindset. But alas, here you are, ready, and I'm, first of all, impressed with that answer. Not where I thought you were going to go, but for me, there's only one clear answer here, and that has been someone who last week on Twitter, you should follow me, by the way, good stuff on Michigan basketball, but who I named the most impressive development project in Michigan basketball the last 15 years, and that's Jon Teske. So we'll talk about the Battle of Atlantis and why Teske has been the most impressive player on Michigan's basketball team this year. Battle of Atlantis was named the MVP, by the way, averaging 13.3 points, close to 10 rebounds with 3 blocks, and this is getting in foul trouble in the first game. He limited North Carolina freshman Armando Bacot to 6 points on 3 of 10. And most importantly, in the game against Gonzaga in the final, he limited their leading scorer, Philippe Petrusev, to 9 points on 4 of 16 shooting in a game where Teske had 19 points, 15 boards, and 4 blocks. He really turned the tide of that game, naming MVP, and then I'll wait for you to make your rebuttal because we'll talk about Louisville as well as to why I still think that Teske, even though he didn't put up his best performance against Louisville, was the most important player on the floor for Michigan.
I like the Jon Teske answer a lot, I do. The reason I think DeJulius has been the most impressive is because we expected Teske to make kind of this leap to be the man this year down low. I agree, he has developed a lot from his freshman to senior year. Maybe I will follow you on Twitter if you're making good points like that. But my thing is like, if Teske wasn't kind of playing at this level, I would be almost disappointed. I did not expect DeJulius to come up to this level so fast, and compared to where he was at last year, I've just been so impressed that he can kind of go onto the floor and we're not missing a step. Like some of our other bench players come on and it's like you can tell a little bit of a difference, but DeJulius is one of those guys that I think he could almost be in the starting role if we didn't have Brooks and Xavier already.
I agree with that, and I will give you, I've been very impressed with DeJulius and Brooks as well. Obviously, Brooks has been in the starting lineup, DeJulius coming off the bench, but you mentioned in your earlier statement when the North Carolina game, when Simpson went in foul trouble and Michigan was up like 8 or something, and you thought, oh man, this could be a danger time. No, Michigan more than doubled the lead with Simpson out, which again, you mentioned we didn't see a lot of that last year. However, I think the Louisville game really shows how Teske is the most important player for Michigan. Do you know what happened, the result of the first time Teske checking out against Louisville was? There were 5 Michigan players on the floor, and none of them had scored a point in the game.
Yeah, I believe that. That was a rough game. There were a lot of players that weren't scoring points.
So Michigan, and by the way, Teske's stats this year up from less than 10 points a game last year, 7 rebounds last year, 2 blocks last year. Those are all up exponentially. And against Louisville, Teske was the best Michigan player on the floor with 18 points. Granted, he shot 6 of 18, forcing some shots that were clearly out of his comfort zone. 1 of 4 from 3. The rest of the team was 2 of 15 from 3, and 5 of 8 from the free throw line with 10 boards. Meanwhile, your boy DeJulius, I don't even think hit a shot from the field. And again,
but he plays with heart, man. He comes in, he plays with heart, and he attacks the basket.
And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for his future on Michigan. But I think it'd be foolish not to say at this point that Jon Teske has been the most impressive and important men's basketball player for Michigan so far in this young season.
All right. Well, you both definitely did your research and both made some great points, but I think Jake takes the cake on this one, and he's wearing a turtleneck, so that's just extra brownie points. So that'll be it for this debate. Thank you for watching, as always.